KonoSuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World, is an isekai anime that defies the genre's tropes with its unique blend of humor, relatable characters, best girls, and sheer absurdity. Adapted from Natsume Akatsuki's light novel series, KonoSuba follows Kazuma Sato, a hikikomori who finds himself reincarnated in a fantasy world after a comedic and anticlimactic death. Instead of becoming an all-powerful hero, Kazuma's new life is filled with misadventures, thanks to his quirky companions, Aqua, the above and beyond useless goddess, Megumin, the explosion-obsessed mage, and Darkness, the ever-masochistic Crusader. This series stands out for its hilarious take on the isekai genre, making it one of the most rewatchable anime comedies. The show begins with a subversion of isekai tropes, where unlike most protagonists who die in heroic or tragic circumstances, Kazuma dies from shock after mistakenly thinking he saved a girl from being run over by a truck, only to realize it was a slow-moving tractor. This sets the tone for the series, establishing that KonoSuba will take a more humorous and self-aware approach to the genre. KonoSuba's setting, while typical of the fantasy genre, is used primarily as a backdrop for character-driven humor and situational comedy. The towns, dungeons, and various fantasy elements are designed to create opportunities for jokes and mishaps, rather than epic quests and battles. This focus on comedy over conventional fantasy storytelling is what makes KonoSuba so unique and entertaining. The series doesn't take itself too seriously, and the self-awareness resonates with viewers who are familiar not with just the tropes and cliches of the isekai genre. KonoSuba brilliantly parodies the isekai genre, which often features overpowered protagonists and idealized fantasy worlds. This anime continues to poke fun at genre conventions, such as the trope of the protagonist being granted immense power. Kazuma's initial choice of Aqua as his one item to bring to the new world turns out to be a comedic disaster, as she is much more trouble than she is help. This self-aware humor and deconstruction of isekai cliches makes KonoSuba refreshingly original and endlessly entertaining. Kazuma's new life is a far cry from the typical hero's journey. He is not bestowed upon with extraordinary powers or granted a grand destiny. Instead, he has to navigate the challenges of his new world with limited resources and an eventual party of 4 filled with dysfunctional companions. This approach turns the typical isekai narrative on its head, emphasizing the mundane and often frustrating aspects of life within a fantasy world. Kazuma's skills and abilities are modest, and he often relies on cunning and pragmatism rather than brute strength or magical prowess. This makes his victories all the more satisfying and humorous, as they are achieved through wit and ingenuity rather than sheer force. KonoSuba also tackles the overlooked issues of the protagonist's adjustment to a new world, where unlike many isekai heroes who quickly adapt and thrive, Kazuma struggles within the realities of his new life. He faces financial difficulties, navigates complex social dynamics, and deals with the fallout of his and his eventual companions' mistakes. This grounded approach adds a layer of realism to the fantasy setting and makes the humor more relatable. The chemistry between the main characters is a cornerstone of KonoSuba's humor. Kazuma's pragmatism often clashes with Aqua's foolishness. Megumin's obsession with explosion magic and Darkness's masochistic tendencies all come together to create countless upon countless comedic moments, as their personalities bounce off each other in unpredictable ways. The group's dynamic is reminiscent of a very much dysfunctional family, whereas each member's flaws are exaggerated for comedic effect. Their constant bickering and mishaps create a new sense of camaraderie that keeps viewers coming back for more. Darkness's masochistic tendencies brings a unique and often awkward brand of humor to the series, whereas her desire to be placed in dangerous situations frequently leave Kazuma and the others bewildered and embarrassed. Darkness's extreme masochism, juxtaposed with her otherwise dignified appearance, creates a comedic dissonance that is both surprising and endlessly entertaining. Her interactions with Kazuma, who is often caught off guard by her behavior, adds yet another layer of humor to their dynamic. The group's collective incompetence, especially Aqua's, and their ability to somehow muddle through their adventures creates a rich tapestry of comedic potential. Each character's distinct personality and flaws contribute to the overall humor, and their interactions are marked by a blend of camaraderie and never-ending chaos. This dynamic makes KonoSuba's humor feel organic and character-driven, rather than relying solely on situational comedy or gags. The deepening relationships and growing sense of mutual dependence among the characters adds emotional depth to the series, making their comedic misadventures all the more engaging and unforgettable. Aqua, the self-proclaimed but ever useless water goddess, is a central source of comedy and aggravation within KonoSuba. Despite her divine status, she is often more of a hindrance than a help, with her incompetence and vanity leading to numerous disasters. Aqua's inability to perform basic tasks, coupled with her arrogance and sheer stupidity, results in hilarious situations. Whether she's being scammed or eaten by toads, failing to exercise spirits, or whining about her misfortunes that she herself has caused, Aqua's antics never fail to entertain and aggravate. Her dynamic with Kazuma, who often treats her with exasperation and sarcasm, much like the audience, adds an extra layer of humor to the series. Aqua's relationship with Kazuma is a key aspect of her character's humor. Despite being a goddess, Aqua is often treated as a burden by Kazuma and the rest of the group, who frequently mock her and point out her many flaws. Their interactions are characterized by a mix of bickering and reluctant cooperation, creating a dynamic that is both comedic and endearing. Kazuma's sarcastic remarks and Aqua's indignant responses form the basis of many humorous exchanges, highlighting the absurdity of their situations. Aqua's incompetence extends to her attempts at exorcism, a task she should be proficient in as a goddess. Her failures in this area lead to numerous comedic situations, such as when she accidentally strengthens the spirits she is supposed to banish, or gets herself into trouble with vengeful ghosts. These moments showcase her lack of practical skills and a tendency to create more problems than she can ever truly solve. Megumin, the arch-wizard who can only cast explosion magic, is another key contributor to KonoSuba's humor. Her single-minded dedication to explosions, despite their impracticality, leads to many laugh-out-loud moments. Megumin's dramatic incantations and the sheer joy she derives from her destructive magic contrast hilariously with the exasperation of her companions. Her obsession with explosions is both her greatest strength and her biggest flaw, creating a comedic paradox that adds depth to her character. Megumin's backstory adds another layer to her character and her comedic potential. Her upbringing in a village that idolizes explosion magic, combined with her rivalry with fellow archwizard and best girl Yunyun, provides context for her obsession. These elements are explored in flashbacks and interactions with her past acquaintances, adding a depth to her character that makes her more relatable. Megumin's rivalry with Yunyun in particular is a source of both humor and character development, as their competitive antics often lead to hilarious outcomes. Despite her quirks, Megumin is a valuable member of the group, and her explosive magic has its moments of usefulness. These instances, though rare as hell, adds layers of irony to her character and provide opportunities for endless humor. The contrast between Megumin's dramatic build-up to her spells and the practical challenges the group faces in dealing with the aftermath creates a comedic dynamic that is both unique and entertaining. Megumin's character also explores themes of passion and dedication in a humorous context. Her unwavering commitment to explosion magic, despite its impracticality, highlights the idea that following one's passion can lead to both comedic and profound outcomes. This theme adds depth to her character and makes her more than just a source of comedic relief. Megumin's journey, marked by her explosive enthusiasm and the never-ending challenges it brings, adds a layer of emotional resonance to the series, making her a memorable and endearing character, but not quite best girl. Darkness, the Crusader with a penchant for masochism, brings a unique brand of awkward humor to KonoSuba. Her desire to be placed in perilous situations, coupled with her noble yet misguided sense of duty, leads to countless awkward and hilarious moments. Darkness's over-the-top reactions to danger and her inappropriate fantasies often leave Kazuma and the others bewildered and embarrassed. Her extreme masochism, juxtaposed with her otherwise dignified appearance, creates a comedic dissonance that is both surprising and hilarious. Darkness's character is a parody of the noble Crusader archetype commonly found within fantasy stories. Her appearance and demeanor suggest a stoic and honorable warrior, but her actions reveal a deeply flawed and eccentric individual. Darkness's masochistic tendencies are a source of constant awkward humor, as she actively seeks out dangerous and painful situations for her own enjoyment. This paradox between her appearance and behavior creates a comedic contrast that is central to her character. Despite her flaws, Darkness is a valuable and dedicated member of the group. Her physical strength and resilience are often essential to many of their adventures, even if her motivations are often questionable. Darkness's journey, marked by desire to balance her noble duties with her personal inclinations and fetish, adds a deep layer to her character and makes her more than just a source of comedic relief. Her interactions with the group, her personal struggles, and her unique brand of humor make Darkness a memorable and endearing character within the world of KonoSuba. Kazuma's role as the straight man in the group is crucial to KonoSuba's comedic success. His pragmatic and often cynical outlook contrasts sharply with the absurdity of his companions' antics. Kazuma's sarcastic commentary and realistic reactions to the ridiculous situations he finds himself in provide a grounded perspective that enhances the humor. His frequent frustration and exasperation, particularly towards Aqua, make him a relatable protagonist, as viewers can easily empathize with his plight. Kazuma's flawed but resourceful nature also adds depth to his character, making him more than just a comedic foil. Kazuma's internal struggles and development are also explored throughout the series, with his journey from a hikikomori to a leader of dysfunctional idiots adds a layer of emotional depth to his character. Kazuma's growth, marked by his increasing sense of responsibility and his evolving relationships with his companions, provides a grounding element to the series' humor. His character arc, though subtle, adds a layer of complexity to the story and makes his comedic moments all the more impactful. Kazuma's relatability as a protagonist is the key factor in KonoSuba's success, with his flaws and struggles making him more human and more accessible, allowing viewers to empathize with his experiences, frustrations, and having to deal with Aqua and her stupidity. Kazuma's pragmatic and often cynical outlook provides a refreshing contrast to the typical idealized isekai hero, making him a unique and memorable character with his journey marked by a blend of humor and growth, adding layers upon layers of depth to the series and making KonoSuba more than just your typical comedy. KonoSuba excels in finding humor within everyday situations. Unlike many fantasy series that focus on epic battles and grand quests, KonoSuba often highlights the mundane aspects of life in a fantasy world. From struggling to make ends meet to dealing with bizarre local customs, the characters' day-to-day experiences are rich with comedic potential. This focus on the ordinary, combined with the extraordinary personalities of the main cast, creates a unique comedic atmosphere that feels both alive and fresh. The series' ability to extract humor from everyday activities sets it apart from other fantasy comedies. Whether it's Kazuma and his friends taking on odd jobs to earn money, or dealing with the quirks of their new world, the mundane challenges they face are consistently entertaining. The characters' interactions and the resulting comedic situations highlight the absurdity of their circumstances, and make the humor all the more relatable. This focus on the everyday adds a layer of realism to the fantasy setting, and makes the humor more accessible. The everyday humor in KonoSuba is enhanced by the characters' distinct personalities and interactions. The group's dynamic, marked by their contrasting traits and constant bickering, creates a rich source of comedy, with each character's quirks and flaws, especially Aqua's, are exaggerated for comedic effect, making their interactions both humorous and ever endearing. This focus on character-driven humor, combined with the series' exploration of everyday life in a fantasy world, makes KonoSuba a unique and unforgettable anime comedy. KonoSuba's visual and physical comedy is another key aspect of its humor. The series makes full use of its animation to enhance the comedic impact of its scenes. From exaggerated facial expressions to over-the-top physical gags, the physical humor adds a dynamic and engaging element to the series as a whole. The characters' interactions to the absurd situations they find themselves in are often portrayed in a highly expressive and exaggerated manner, amplifying the comedic effect. Physical comedy is a prominent feature of KonoSuba, where the characters frequently find themselves in slapstick situations, resulting in humorous physical mishaps. These physical gags are enhanced by the animation, which emphasizes the characters' movements and the resulting chaos. The animation also plays a crucial role in the timing and delivery of the humor, with the pacing of the visual gags combined with the characters' reactions, creating a rhythm that enhances the comedic impact. This emphasis on timing and visual storytelling makes the humor more effective and engaging. Overall, KonoSuba's visual and physical comedy adds a dynamic and engaging element that makes the series all the more unforgettable. The expressive animation, exaggerated movements, and strong character designs enhances the humor and makes the comedic moments all the more impactful. This focus on visual storytelling and physical gags, combined with the series' character-driven humor, makes KonoSuba a standout comedy. KonoSuba's humor is bolstered by its memorable episodes and running gags. The series features numerous standout episodes that highlight its unique brand of comedy, from the gang's disastrous attempts at defeating powerful monsters to their misadventures in the capital city. Each episode is packed with humorous situations and memorable, unforgettable moments. These episodes, combined with the series' recurring jokes and gags, creates a rich tapestry of comedy that keeps viewers engaged and entertained. Another standout is the gang's journey to the capital city, where they become embroiled in a series of misunderstandings and misadventures. From Aqua's often drunken antics to Kazuma's run-ins with the local authorities, the episode is filled with comedic situations and character interactions. Group's attempts to navigate the complexities of city life, combined with their distinct personalities and quirks, creates a rich source of humor, with the episodes focus on situational comedy and character dynamics, highlighting the series' strengths and making it a memorable entry in the series. KonoSuba's blend of character-driven humor, situational comedy, and self-awareness makes it one of the most rewatchable and unforgettable anime comedies. The unique dynamics between Kazuma, Aqua, Megumin, and Darkness, as well as best girls Yun and Whis, creates a rich tapestry of endless comedic potential. With each character bringing their own quirks and flaws to the table, the series' ability to satirize and deconstruct Isekai tropes, combined with its focus on the mundane aspects of life within a fantasy world, adds a refreshing and relatable element to the overall humor. The visual and physical comedy, enhanced by expressive animation and strong character designs, adds another layer of depth to the humor. The memorable episodes and running gags creates a sense of continuity and familiarity, making the series more engaging and enjoyable to viewers. KonoSuba's ability to balance these elements with new and surprising comedic situations makes it a standout comedy in the anime and isekai genres. In the end, KonoSuba's success lies in its ability to create a rich and dynamic comedic world that is both familiar and endlessly fresh. The series' focus on character-driven humor, situational comedy, and self-awareness makes it a unique and memorable experience. Whether you're a fan of the isekai genre or simply looking for a good laugh, KonoSuba is a must-watch for its endless entertainment and endless rewatchable humor. If you like this video, then hit the subscribe button and subscribe for more. It really helps out.